What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chrissy Chaos, coming to you live from the Los Angeles studio, 7 Ecke studio, Dos 7 Ecke studio. We've never been here. It's in a warehouse down an alley. The entire infrastructure of Los Angeles is crumbling. The industry here is crumbling. But the podcast game seems to be going well for now. We'll check back in about 6 months. And things are great. And we have a guest we've wanted for a long time. Some of you guys may know him as Ray Adam. I know him as Adam Ray. And I didn't look at his Wikipedia at all. And I know that I'm going to take a guess, just feeling off your energy.
Yeah.
How, what I know about Adam Ray is you were born in 1982.
Fucking spot on.
In the Seattle area.
Yeah.
In maybe a suburb of Seattle.
Yep.
Can
you guess the name of it? It's a 3-banger. It's a Philip Seymour Hoffman type of city. And actually, he died of a heroin overdose, so it's actually
you're Carl Anthony Towns, Seattle.
No, great place to live, though.
No, right?
R.I.P. By the way, didn't he just go to New York?
He did come to New York.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah. Yes, and
no, it's called it's a 3-banger, and it's actually it's LFP is the acronym, and each place is a I guess a place that you would go have a social gathering at. How about that?
Lakes.
Holy shit, that's the first one.
Lake.
I guess I gave you the L.
Okay, lake.
Yeah.
And then I got to get the F and the P.
Yeah.
Have a lake.
Dude, trust that first fa whatever that was.
Lake.
Whoa.
Falls.
Dude, no.
Plaza.
So far. God, even further.
Lake.
You could have said Forest Whitaker, and that would have been closer.
Lake Forest.
Boom, got it.
Lake Forest.
Fuck, that's on me, dude.
And then what's the P? Lake Forest Park.
Oh, dude.
And guess what, dude?
You're coming to visit.
I live in Forest Hills,
Who
New
cares?
York, and then Forest Park.
Yeah, okay.
I live in Forest Park.
Do you really?
I live by Forest Park, New York, but no lake. You live in Lake Forest Park. I live in Forest Park, dude.
Clip this whole shit.
Hell
Let's end the
dude.
episode.
Now, what's your real name? It can't be Adam Ray.
It is. You're the maybe 15th person in the history of me being in this business that's asked that.
Because I'm getting Jew from you. I'm getting Jew.
You know what? Scratch the first part. Clip that.
Yeah.
I'm getting Jew from you. Yeah, you're
right?
Well, you're getting right.
So then where's, because it can't just be Adam Ray then.
You know, one of the first, I'll give you the origin in a minute, but one of the first jokes I tried to write, I think I did it at one open mic where, I mean, this is, 2-3 times into it, somebody had the same thing where they were like, Ray isn't a Jewish last name. And I go, well, Ray is my dad's last name. My mom's last name was Brown, which came from Brovernik, which was Russian Jew. And I go, but so that's the actual history, but I would say, well, we shortened it because my real last name was Rabinowitz Yamaka Matzabal Jew Bastard.
Right.
So we shortened it to Ray. That was like 3 open mics in. By the way, way more laughs than it got at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah, dude.
But homeless people were also performing, so.
That's the type of stuff you bring back for Kill Tony in your newest character.
And that's what's up.
And that's what's up.
Dude,
my
you got
favorite guy.
You got a big pop when you did it last night. That was amazing.
Dude.
You crushed last night.
Yeah,
dude.
I felt like, I had a great time.
You did?
I really,
That's all
really
that matters,
did.
yeah.
But sometimes it's hard. It's hard sometimes to not play the straight man, but it's like you're playing your character, you're Dr. Phil crushing it, and I'm like, sometimes like in the zone, I'm like, just be in the moment, but I'm like, am I talking to Dr. Phil or am I talking to Adam?
A little bit of both.
Right.
I mean, it's me in the makeup. I mean, it's like, but I love that you were having moments where you couldn't tell.
What I love about you, too, is I like that you do break and you just laugh.
Yeah.
Sometimes guys play those characters and they refuse to like.
No way, dude.
But you are like, oh, I'll become Adam for a second.
I think people dig that, too. It's like, because that way you're not, I mean, I've never been the type of actor even, I mean, shit, dude, they put me in 4 hours of prosthetics. I did Jay Leno on the Hulu Pam and Tommy show about the Pam and Tommy sex tape. And it's not like, once I got into makeup, I was like, don't talk to me, I'm a character, Like it was just, I was like, so even with the Phil thing, it's more fun to kind of break the fourth wall. Right. Obviously, you stay as committed as possible throughout a lot of the moments, but I think people dig that they're like, all right, cool, he's not, we're not taking it so serious.
Right. The other day, too, I'm sure people tell you this all the time. The other day, we've seen it 25,000 times, but the other day I was kind of just in the hotel hanging out. I was jerking off to a Barbie, which we do.
The movie.
The movie.
I thought just a doll you just set up on the table.
Once in a while I do with that. But
we had a great riff about that last night,
We had a great
remember?
riff about that. The Puerto Rican Barbie. Yep. And I was jerking off to Barbie, and then your scene pops up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's one of those things because, she looks so good in those
Thank God it's
rollerblades.
such a quick scene.
Yeah. But when you did that, I mean, Margot Robbie, is it just one of those things where you're like, she's not even human being, she's so hot?
Bro, if given the chance to bang either her or Gosling, I'd have to say, can I sleep on it?
Seriously?
bro, they're both movie stars.
Yeah.
There's certain people that just come out of the gate, get in this business, and you go, oh yeah, you're everything's going to work out for you.
Right.
And they were so, I mean, that was like almost a full day of shooting for what ended up being 2 lines. It was about a 2.5-minute scene. And the guy who even sound mixed it, he and I became chums on Instagram, and he hit me up. He's like,
chum's
dude.
a good word, by the way. Could have said friends. You could have said buds. You said chums, which I like because it's kind of like one of those things that it's old school.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound made up. It's not like this new lexicon. These kids, you're not saying, oh, that's chungy, or oh, you're so Sigma. You're not saying things like that, or that's cringe. It's
cringe. Let's get rid of, dude.
It's like Sigma, and is that chuggy? It's like, is that like old school?
Sigma's too close to schmegma, which is like,
I don't like that.
Yeah, nobody
Sigma
likes
Freud.
It. Yeah.
But chum is a good word that should be used more.
Chum lets you know that like you had a little bit of a live in the flesh rapport, but then you're keeping it, clean over DMs. Right. But there's no real friendship. Neither side is going out of the way to like take this friendship up a notch.
But when your chums sound mixed, what happened?
So he hit me up and goes, dude, there's like 4 different versions of the scene. It's hilarious. So I was like, oh, so it's all staying in? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, then I'm going to post that I'm in the movie because 2.5 minutes feels like a pretty nice little spot. And then I go with some buddies and my wife to see the midnight screening at the Grove. Shout out, Mario Lopez lives there.
Shout out, Mario Lopez.
And we go, and I pop on screen, and I go, fucking my wife. I go, here we go. And then fucking 2 seconds go by, and the scene changes. I go, and there it was. I go, all right, let's get the fuck out of here.
That's it.
And but during the filming, I always chalk up. I mean, I've been cut out of stuff and things chopped down. It's just a part of it, dude. So pretty early on, and having friends around me get chopped out of big things, to where I was like, you just gotta like control what you can control, crush it on the day of or the week, whatever you're doing, and then soak up the experience as what you got from it. Sure. And if it gets, whatever ends up on the cutting room floor is what it is, but getting to, act with them was dope. And there was a moment where the other cop and I had to, they wanted one version of the scene where we were just kind of like ogling Margot Robbie.
Sure.
So, no real stretch there. And she's staring at us in Gosling, and it was on our coverage. And we're doing really ridiculous shit. The director, Greta Gerwig, was like, go real over the top. So I'm doing like real, looking at Margot going like fucking go crazy.
Is she laughing?
She's dying.
Oh, great.
And Gosling, like you see him in all those SNL when he breaks, he's losing it. And it ends, and we're going for we probably went for, I don't know, 2 minutes, a little, just going fucking bonkers. And then they finally call cut, and it was one of those things where everybody starts laughing, and Gosling gives like this, and he just goes, if that's not the trailer, I don't do a Gosling, but he's like, if that's not the trailer, I don't, cut me out of the movie. He's like, that was the trailer. And then he gives us a bump, and I was like, all right, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then I talked
it was not the trailer was not even in the movie.
Not only was it not in the trailer, it was in the final
That's how much
product.
I didn't listen to them. They said, you know what, actually, we're going to now cut it out of the movie. You actually just ruined this kid's career. Adam Ray was going to be the next you, and now because of your antics. Bro. But they got see. I feel like people like Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling that are just so famous and been around so long. Yeah. They're actually very nice people.
They were the most normal.
Part of why they are who they are is because they're so down to earth.
Talking to Gosling for a bit, and I go, hey man, blah blah blah, and something about what he was just in something I'd seen. I was complimenting on something, or how funny he was too, because other things were happening. Yeah, and I go. He goes, yeah. He goes, you seem like you do a lot of comedy. I go, oh, I'm a stand-up comic. He's like, oh, so he started picking my brain about that. Wow. That's always cool, man. When people you can tell, like, it's just not their world, right? Same thing, I'm sure you get it with athletes too, right? Like, they're just like, dude, they just want to know everything, all the ins and outs. And then he was asking me some certain questions, and I remember like getting why women are just like constantly playing with themselves. 2 headshots of him. I don't think he even blinked when he was talking to me. He was just like, I'm like, yeah, dude, you go to comedy clubs, you know? He's like, do they feed you? Do they feed you at the clubs? And I'm like, yeah, and they give you like salads, chicken tenders. He's like, dude, I fucking love chicken tenders, dude. Wow. That's my cheat meal, dude. And I was like, dude, I mean, I don't believe you, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, look at your body.
It's like one of those guys, like, when you're talking to him, he's like such a nice guy, such a handsome guy. You kind of, just a peck.
Just a peck. Just give me one.
Just like that, soft.
Just show me a peck, dude.
Dude, I always think about that. Like, people always have this tendency to say, like, oh, these Hollywood elites, they must be such assholes. I'm like, no, it's the opposite. The reason why they're able to connect on such a human level, they're actually... has anybody like that ever been a dick to you? Not to me.
Yeah.
I've never met somebody.
Nah.
You meet the people who aren't as famous who are assholes.
Totally.
But the big names, no, they're always as nice can be.
Dude, I did karaoke at a place called Dimples just down the street from here with Dennis Haskins.
Sure.
Mr. Belding.
Shout him out.
Dude, sweetest guy ever. Was in the corner, holding it down.
Yeah.
Asked me if I wanted to duet A Whole New World with him. I said, hard pass. I got to get out of here.
Yeah,
but
I can't do that.
Thanks for the offer, you know?
Yeah.
But What do you think about these? Somebody just brought it up to me the other day. They were like, where was I? I was in Minnesota, and somebody did the whole like Hollywood. Do you like Hollywood? There's post show. I'm hanging out at the club, and it's Acme in Minnesota, and he goes, he's like, dude, Hollywood. He's like, isn't like Tom Hanks drinking baby blood out there? I go, are we still doing that? Also, wouldn't the proof of like that come out? Sure. I mean, maybe if you see Hanks in one of these Diddy videos, maybe then I'll start to go, all right. Like
what were you doing?
What were you doing? What was did Chet supply it? What's going on?
Yeah.
Chet seems like the guy that would be Tom's.
I would do that. Chet Hanks should be your next guy. Impressions.
Oh really?
Why not? So, because the thing is with you is you're one of these guys who we've all.
I'm getting Jew from you.
I am getting Jew from you. We've all.
Great name for a special or your memoir.
I'm getting
but
Jew
about
from
me.
you. Yes, and I because we're always like, oh, Adam should be on SNL. Adam should be on SNL. And now you're finally getting all like the due that all the comics were like, oh yeah, he's like the greatest at this.
Oh, that's sweet.
And now, we've all known that for years. But you know, it's like I'm kind of like, I answered you this yesterday, but like, you would do SNL if they offered it to you tomorrow. You would do it just to do it.
1,000%.
Right.
I think there's, man. I mean, I wanted to do it in high school. I thought about dropping out. I went to acting school at USC out here. That's what brought me out here. And my sophomore year, I was just like, this isn't for me. This is the conservatory of it is too much. I just want to be silly. And I even went to my acting teacher and I was like, I think I'm going to move to New York and try to get on SNL. And she was like, I think that's a mistake. And she's like, I think you need some training. You're coming from this musical theater world up in the Pacific Northwest. Everything's big with you. You know, I know you got to be big on SNL, but like, you still got to be grounded. And I was just like, And so
you didn't do it.
It was the first lesbian that convinced me to stay in Los Angeles.
Right.
Laura Zane, shout out.
Shout out Lauren Zane.
And
big lesbo.
Big, yeah.
I'm getting gay from
she
you.
She dated a worst psychic ever. They come in like eating somebody out. You're like, I'm getting gay from you. I did go to a psychic once. It was across the street. I lived at La Brea and Melrose for about 7 years after college, right next to Pink's Hot Dogs. Shout out. Although it smelled like diarrhea every night.
Of course.
Of course. But you look at Pink's and you go, the most famous people have been there. Certain places I go, I don't even know if the food's that great, but they got a picture of fucking Candace Cameron, Tom Selleck, and Bill Maher, and fucking Bill Cosby. And you're like, dude, everybody eats here.
Everybody loves it.
And so I stayed in LA, but always had that dream to go there. So for sure I'd still do it. I think at least for a year, but what we were talking about is like the freedom that Kill Tony provides is this like no script, no notes, no like running it up the totem pole, no like I do love the collaborative thing though. I mean, I really do love that. So, but also like I don't know to be the fuck. I used to date a girl that was a page at NBC, so she ran. You know, she was like seating for SNL. She worked at Conan. You know, you work all these jobs. Hopefully, one of them pans out. And getting to like walk around there with her when back in the early 2000s, it was like. Yeah, dude. I mean, fantasizing about hearing, you know, your name get called and just being a part of that would be unreal. You know, Stern geeks out about you, but also just to be hearing from not only my friends who've been cast members, but like hosts, hear how chaotic it is. I want to fucking see what that's like.
See what's like. You've never been?
I've been to tapings, but not like, you know, that's so different. Watching from, you know.
But like, do you feel now because. Now your career is like, you know, it's like going like
every year you want to like. That's what I always say. It's like. I mean, this year, a little bit more of a
No, this
has
been a big. I mean, it's big now. You're selling out. You're doing
selling
all
out shows is the coolest, but it's still like I want the fucking. I mean, I want the Sandler type shit to where I just have so many. There's not enough time in the day for how many things I want to do, and I know so many funny people. Yeah, I want the ability to be able to be like, you know, I've got a Happy Madison type thing. And fucking I'm like, Chris, dude, you got fucking, what's like a movie you'd want to do right now? Yeah. And we could fucking do it, dude.
I want to do
like how dope, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I fucking put myself in it, or we pull in fucking John Renitsky, or we pull like all these funny people we know that are just, it's like one of the benefits of doing this as much as we do is, you know, so many people that are just waiting for their little chance, you know?
But so now are you though, because of how big you know, like how things have gotten for you on the internet, are you getting like these auditions and like movie, not even auditions.
Yeah, see, that's what I want.
They're just giving you movie roles.
No. See that?
Yet.
No, not at all.
See, it's an interesting thing, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
How you think people think it's one way, but then in the reality it's different. I've experienced this.
That's why I always am so quick to when people say, dude, you're blowing up. It's like, dude, it is all relative, man.
Yeah.
It is like
like I drive a Camry.
Yeah, dude. My Ford Escape still has bungee cords holding the bumper on.
Yeah.
Cashews, condoms, oh my, in between the seats.
That's it, baby.
I don't. It's nothing. More people in the seats. A little bit more cash, but then, you know, I'm taking more of that cash to invest in like the Dr. Phil show. Now we're doing these theaters and it's like, I'm trying to fucking make it a cool show. So it's like, I'm making some money, but I'm not fucking, you know, my wife is like, hey, like, I mean, we want a house so bad, you know. And
you had your wife out there in the bear costume yesterday because you were like, listen, I don't have the money to hire someone, so you better get your ass out there in the bear costume.
Such a funny reason to do it, but also, yeah.
Guys, you know me. Okay, you know I talk about Uncle Russell. He's a cat judge. He's always talking to me about Smalls cat food. That is the one that is the best. I've always felt like my family and I were cat people. Even if I've never actually had cats, I'm proud to support our next sponsor, Smalls. Like I said, my Uncle Russell loves cats, and he's telling me about this product. So if you have cats and you love cats, trust in Uncle Russell. He's the cat guy. He's the cat judge. He's telling you Smalls is what's up. Is your cat having digestive issues, throwing up their food? If so, you should check out Smalls. It's awesome. You got to try Smalls, okay? Smalls cat food is protein-packed recipes made with preservative-free ingredients you'd find in your fridge, and it's delivered right to your door. That's why Cats.com named Smalls their best overall cat food. All right, listen, Elizabeth C., you know what she said? She said, my cat was always so-so with her usual food, but she is very enthusiastic about Smalls. Her breath is much better, and she poops much less frequently and does not smell disgusting like it used to. I mean, the fact this lady's smelling her cat's shit and breath is wild, and I'm wondering what the hell is her problem, but I kind of love her, and she might be my next wife. Then Jennifer M. said, after every feeding, he gets his burst of energy and starts running around the house, and his fur is softer and more vibrant with higher contrast. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend anything else. This woman seems like she wants to have sex with a cat, and that's just what she wants to do. Smalls was started back in 2017 by a couple of guys home cooking cat food in small batches for their friends. I guarantee you those guys probably did not have girlfriends. A few short years later, they serve millions of meals to cats across the U.S. That's nice. Plus, Smalls works with the Humane Society. They've donated over $1 million worth of food to help cats through the Humane Society, and they even give you a chance to donate at the checkout. You can donate $3 for treats, $5 for vaccines, or $7 for spraying or neutering. Shout out Smalls. So give your cat the gift of great cat food this holiday season. Now is the time to make the switch to Smalls. Head to smalls.com/chaos and use the promo code chaos at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use my code chaos for 50% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code chaos for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. Smalls, baby. Feed your cat. Listen, life can get crazy sometimes, okay? And one person's negligence can result in another's settlement. If you are injured by the negligence of another, you deserve to be paid, playa. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan, okay? They are America's largest injury firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers. That's a lot of abogados. With over $20 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. Guys, listen to me, okay? Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan, it's very, very easy, all right? Other things are hard. All right, trying not to eat a chocolate muffin every morning as soon as you wake up is hard. Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is easy. Vito walking around with gout in both feet is hard. Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is easy. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/chaos or dial pound law, that's pound 529, from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/chaos or pound law, pound 529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement.
Yeah. You know what's so funny? She told me when she was a kid she because she is so funny and so supportive and loves all this. And even when there's that she's tired, I'm like, just fucking stay. And she's like, I'm not missing a fucking Phil show. She awesome. Loves them. Everyone's different, you know. Like, right. And she fucking loves you. Hey Babe is one of her favorite pods.
Amazing. On hiatus now.
All right, yeah.
Hiatus Babe.
Hiatus Babe.
Yeah,
dude. If you want to see and she's got the greatest laugh. Shout out, Babe. And
she was laughing in the bear costume yesterday.
The Tubberware clip. If you want to talk about something that will make, what a great thing to have something that you know you can watch it and it's going to elicit like crying, laughing.
Right.
I wish I had that. Maybe Oprah giving away cars. Maybe
something.
You know, like what Two Girls Won't. Like there's something that makes you just laugh uncontrollably.
Right.
She watches that Tubberware clip, dude. It's game over every time.
I've sat and slaved here to try to for 15 years to try to write jokes, the perfect joke, the perfect thing, and the thing that's went the most viral and the thing that people know me far and away the most for my ticket sales had a noticeable jump was me mispronouncing the word Tupperware. So just being an idiot, just being truly coming through the American education system and just being a dumb asshole is actually what gave me a career.
Hey, well, dude, you're welcome.
You're welcome, baby.
But that's the thing, dude. You never know, like, what Dude, I had so many people tell me reps. I mean, I'm not going to turn this into everyone told me don't do characters, and I did it anyway. But I definitely had multiple reps being like, you're a leading man, dude. You got to whatever. I'm like, well, my weight fluctuates. So, like, I don't know if I have the self-control to be in leading man shape all the time, and then there's certain times where I'm like, all right, I feel pretty good. And then I'm like, but that's when I want to do more of the character stuff. So, like, definitely had my last few were like, dude, enough with the dress up. Like, women with mustaches, what are you doing? And eventually it just was like, pre-actor strike, I was just like, man, I started kind of getting this monotony of podcast, stand-up, auditions. And even though you're controlling your podcast stand-up stuff, it was just like, I was losing joy for what I was doing. And that was like sad because I was like, man, when was I my happiest? Oh, it was when I was, when YouTube hit. And the guys who film my Dr. Phil live shows, they were film students and I met them through a friend. And they were like, hey, our friend told us you do comedy sketches. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing with this kid I worked with at Universal Studios with. And they're like, well, we have, all these great cameras. We are film students. We have, all the great sound and whatever. And we can really make your shit better looking if you want to jam. So we started working together and we'd shoot a sketch on a Saturday from like 9 a.m. until 4. Then I'd buy him lunch, dinner, and then we'd edit from like 7 p.m. until 3 a.m. and then post it the next day. And it was the happiest I was, dude. Really? This was like 2006 to like, I don't know, 2015.
Right.
Like every couple weeks.
Every Saturday, that's what you were doing,
Pretty much, dude. And putting up a sketch every 2 weeks, and then they'd get a little longer form, and then we'd shoot some bigger stuff, and they would all just do it for the love of it. It was different from all their jobs. But like it was the creating part that was I was getting so fired up about. It was like creating something from the ground up. It was collaborative because we would all kind of edit together, but I kind of had final say on certain things. I'd be like, dude, we got to cut a couple seconds here. They're like, oh, I think it's really funny. I was like, just trust me. And then other times they'd say, let them kind of speak up. But
so you really do love what you do. You're not doing it for it's like you're being fueled.
Dude, I see people say on Kill Tony or comments every now and then. The last few weeks I've really kind of subscribed to. I think I'm gonna really stop reading stuff because it's like even the good stuff I'm like, all right, like
I've made a decision in my life that's helped me profoundly. As I said, if I don't personally know you in any way, shape, or form, if I've never physically met you, if it's not a friend or a family, if I don't personally know you, your comment, positive or negative, I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm not going to let you get me too high or too low because that's in the ether. That's someone commenting. That's a faceless name. Yeah. To me, because it can, people say the negative comments. You always hear that, but to me, it's the positive comments too. That also inflates you in a negative.
Totally.
So unless I know you, your words don't affect me either way.
I love that. Also, you know best. Chrissy knows best.
That's it, baby. Chrissy knows best.
You know how it was in the moment. Even doing Jeremy on Kill Tony, I was like, all right, this is a big Hail Mary. New character. It's not like a Phil or even Biden I was nervous about because I'd never done it. But it was like, all right, I'm there with Shane, so I've got a little bit of a safety net, even though like we barely knew each other. So we were figuring out our relationship through a fucking character. But with Jeremy, I was backstage and I was like, really nervous because I was like, nobody knows what the fuck I'm going to do. I could definitely feel some people being like, oh, another character. All right, here we go. And I'm like, I just got to fucking go full. You got to, like with any new bit, you got to just go all in. Right. And at least give yourself a chance to see if it sinks or swims. And then I had a real positive reaction in the room at the mothership. So I go, I'm going to hang my hat on that. Yeah. And then we'll see how it does online. And, a lot of positive stuff. And then some people being like, enough with the characters, and then I was just like, why am I even like looking?
Yeah, and that guy who wrote that is probably looking at Jeremy, and he's like, I feel like I'm looking in the mirror when I look at this. Like the guy who the real life Jeremy was like, fuck this guy.
He's like, and that's what's up, dude. He's doing a perfect impression of me.
You didn't have a mouthpiece in? That was just you doing that? Yeah. Oh, I thought for sure you had like a night guard in.
No, yeah.
Pretty awesome.
No, well, yeah, I had some like little braces up top, but they don't get that shit going.
Do you feel like there's like characters that like live inside your head where sometimes you honestly, truthfully, sometimes be like, am I insane? Like, am I actually a person who's clinically insane?
No.
You don't think that? Because sometimes with comedy, I don't do characters, but sometimes with my comedy, the way I think about the world and because, I'll hear a lot like from family, like, where do you come up with this? Why is your mind this way?
Yeah.
And then so I'll start to think, sometimes when I'm alone, my thoughts, I'm like, whatever I'm thinking about, maybe the sky is blue, but I'm seeing it in a different blue than other people, and it's weird.
How beautiful is that? It is weird.
Yeah.
We're all fucking weird. What a blessing to be weird and hilarious.
Right.
Your solo videos when you do, is it like Chrissy, the Tuesday, Panic Tuesday?
Anxiety Tuesday, yeah.
Brilliant, dude.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of them.
Yeah, and I stopped doing them because I've gotten in my own head.
I am take this moment for me to tell you.
Yeah.
Dude.
Just do it.
Dude, Nike it up, man.
Yeah,
what the fuck? So funny and so you.
Anxious motherfucker.
What? No, dude. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but not. You know what happened? You know why I stopped doing them? I started to equate in my mind anxiety with narcissism, and I started to say, because I have kids, so I started to say,
oh yeah,
I'm over here making these videos about me having anxiety because I feel like my heart skipped a beat and blah 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 blah. When it's like my daughter needs my energy to push her on the swing. Just stop doing it.
It's 2 minutes. I think you can do it all.
I should.
Yeah. You're, but also it's a part of your shit, dude. And also your job, right, is to be funny and to be entertaining and to make. Yeah. Our job isn't to make people's lives better, but I guess comedy by nature is doing that. It is medicine. I'm getting more and more aware of like the impacts of that on people's lives, as I'm sure you have known for years with what you do. So it's like that video. It's a balance of like self-indulgence. I got to put some content up, but also like find a way to make it fun then. And that is a very specific thing to you. And it's fun and it's funny and it's fucking quick and you're rating off the top of the dome.
That's it.
And it's not like it's taking, if you're taking all day and your daughter's like, can I get some food? And you're like, can you see Dad's making a content video? Then maybe I'd say skip a couple weeks.
Yeah. But do you want kids?
Yeah. I mean, I'm uncle of the year for the
dropping
uncles.
it in there? You dropping it in?
Trying to, man. Try to get it in this morning and see.
How do you when you do it? Do you make eye? Do you maintain eye contact?
Close my eyes, turn the lights on. She's in the other room, and we see.
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
you kind of you get in your hand, you
and
throw
then
it in.
Yeah, just give a nice little fucking David Cohn.
Yeah. Oh, nice, David Cohn.
I was like, what picture can I go with? And I immediately just go New York.
David Cohn.
And who's
Jim
your first?
Abbott, one arm.
Threw a no-hitter against my Mariners.
Yeah. With
Sad
half an
day
arm.
for us, with half an arm.
Dude, the Mariners were looking good this year, and then they
You want to talk about my parents' divorce next? Yeah, dude, we blew it.
How old were your parents when they got divorced?
8 years old. We'll be right back.
Did it affect you?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
I think it affected me, but I mean, to get a little Chrissy therapeutic on you.
Yeah.
I've always had this, and I can really, speak this about this confidently. Always had this glass half full mindset. I don't know. I think it was because I just saw like how sad my mom was. And by the way, once I got to be older, I was like, oh, you're greedy if you want two parents. I got one mom that crushed it. Fucking, that's all you need. One parent that really gives a fuck.
Yeah. Dad was not. He kind of.
Dad was. So it was a cardiovascular surgeon. Met a nurse there. They had their own thing, started a new family. Mom left.
What can you do?
Went with what can you do? Start a new family. And mom and sister and I lived together. Dad moved around. She had a kid, then he had two new with him that are now brothers of mine, which I love. And I just saw how uncomfy my sister was and angry she was. And it was kind of wearing on my mom. And I was like, I just by default need to like not be okay with this, but just be the. And my grandpa always tell me too, like, you gotta be the man of the house now, whatever. I'm like, dude, I'm an 8-year-old fat kid with tits and a penis, and like, I'm fucking.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna throw a dress on and go and kill Tony.
Mom and I share a bra, and a bowl of bolognese, and like this is like I don't think you're looking at the wrong guy,
right?
And so, but I did just kind of I was there for her in that way, and peer mediated between my sister and mom when I was fucking 8 and 9 because they were at each other's throats. So I just grew up quick, I think, and just had this. And I guess it probably is pushing it down, but I definitely saw everything around and felt how weird it was to go to my dad's new like girl's place and meet her family and they're treating me like I'm family right out of the gate, which is so weird.
That is weird.
Dude, come here, dude. You got a new uncle. I'm just like, dude.
No.
I saw your car out front. Your life is not going according to plan. Don't bring me into your bullshit.
Yeah.
But then you just kind of
you're like, you're on my list, sir. I'm gonna shoot and kill you.
You're gonna be a character. So,
yeah.
Dude, and then watching my mom like date these like weirdos. She had a couple good guys throughout. One guy brought me like one time. He was probably the best guy, but he was like a little too cool for school. And he one time he was like, I heard you like music, and I was like, I don't remember saying that out loud, but for sure.
Yeah.
And he brought me a saxophone that was like in a case. It looked like he found it off the side of the freeway, and the reed was still wet. And I was like, dude, where'd you get this? He's like, you're welcome. And I was like, all right, that's one way to go about this. And then there's another guy who was a glass blower, but he drove a fucking truck with a cracked windshield.
Wow.
I told this to Ryan Sickler. He couldn't get enough of it. He was like, you fucking cracked windshield, he's a glass blower,
Yeah.
And she just dated she was just trying to fucking figure it out. And so having me there was a blessing because then my sister went away to a girls' school, like a boarding school, and then it was just mom and I from basically middle school through high school. And mom was, helping out, building sets for all the plays and we just became really close in that way. But yeah, I don't know. It affected me for sure. But then again, I wouldn't change any of that.
Well, because you developed your sense of humor as probably like not a defense mechanism, but something you felt like you needed to for your family.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Although I wasn't the funny kid at home. Like, there's some people, like I've heard Matt Friend say, Matt Friend the impressionist is like, I was performing, Johnny Carson, episodes when he was 7 for the entire family. I never did that.
Just say you're gay, Matt.
I was like funny at school, and my mom, I remember in high school, be like, I keep hearing from all these, and then even around my friends and their parents, I'd be funny, and she's like, I keep hearing how funny you are, and I never see this, and I just wasn't comfortable to do that. I don't know. And then finally, I think started coming home from college, and I started looking at my mom and dad as people and not my parents, and then I could actually. Yeah. But also I got comfy in my own skin comedically to be able to like say stuff and not be like.
By the way, I like that you've said comfy and uncomfy. Twice. Like you say comfy and uncomfy. I like that you're not going. I like that you. I told you I like that you go chum. Yeah. I like that you said that. That's kind of something.
Not
the
saying
same,
uncomfortable
but
or comfortable.
And saying comfy because you said uncomfy, which I was like, oh, interesting. You always only ever hear comfy. Normally I'll say I'm comfy, but then I'll say I'm uncomfortable. But you've said uncomfy and comfy, which is like it's very rare what you do, guys. October 10th to the 12th, I am in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm working out all new material. So if you're in the Dallas, Texas area. Big Laughs Comedy Club, October 10th to the 12th. It's a brand new comedy club. I'll be working on new stuff. ChrisDComedy.com for Tiki Wikis. Then November 12th, I think it's all sold out. I'm doing 3 shows at the 3 different New York comedy clubs as part of the New York Comedy Festival. November 15th to the 17th, Salt Lake City, Wise Guys Comedy Club. Those shows are almost sold out. November 21st to the 23rd, Madison, Wisconsin, Comedy on State. Those shows are almost sold out, but if you want to get the tickets, go to ChrisDComedy.com. There's a few left. December 13th to the 15th, Stand Up Live, Phoenix, Arizona. One of my favorite comedy clubs in the country. And then December 28th to the 31st, we're at the Miami Improv doing shows there December 28th all the way through New Year's Eve. I'm working on new material every time you see me. If you want to be part of my videos that I put out every Sunday at youtube.com/ChrisDComedy, where I'm working on new stand-up, come to these shows. We're going to be filming everything. We do a meet and greet after the shows where I'll be doing a live mini podcast only for the people who do the meet and greet. ChrisDComedy.com for tickets. Go tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mom. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you. I love you. The guy I met on Grindr just showed up. Guys, with big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, guess what, folks? They mean it, okay? Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at only $15 a month. All plans come with a high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan, and you bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. Ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/chaos. That's mintmobile.com/chaos. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/chaos. Okay, $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile below for details.
Piggyback onto that. Do you say uncrustable but then crustable? Hold that thought. We'll be right back. There's every opportunity is a commercial break.
Yes.
If you throw a question to somebody, take a pause.
Yeah.
How much of the actual Phil had you seen before you did last night's show?
I've seen, so the Kill Tony one. I saw one you did with Bill Burr.
Okay, cool.
I saw what's the other one? I saw the Santino one. Santino was on with Barbie.
Yeah.
I saw that. So I've seen it.
I hit you up so long. I'm so glad it finally worked.
Hell
and
yeah.
timing is everything. But you're such a good, not just yes-ander for not just improv, but just conversation in general.
Right.
So that's why I was like, oh, you are, because that's what you want. That show is set up, it's a playground to fucking, not just, when people try to ask, is it a podcast? I go, not really, but like there is a chat form, element, but it's a little more off the rails, and a little more, but you were just so
goes.
down. If you're DFW, down for whatever,
that's it.
Then you're fucking, you can't lose.
I think too, and even like, their episode when we had, we had Jeremiah come out who played a fantastic RFK.
Brilliant.
I kind of felt like we were asking these questions. And I'm like, oh, dude, he's playing such a good RFK. It's like, I felt like the funniest thing to do is like, let me just answer the questions regular, like what the answer was, and then let him say something nuts.
Bro, see, this is why you just get the game.
Yeah,
that was great.
Like,
and then there was one point where, one of the questions was, France gifted the United States a statue of wood, and you're like, well, there's liberty is it, but I feel like there's a joke answer here. I was like, you're right, it's Caitlyn Jenner, RFK.
Bang. No, it was great, and I think that I think like what you're doing with the Dr. Phil and all these things, I do feel like you're now making it. Well, what's happening now in comedy is like we're all kind of creating our own network, our own industry.
Totally.
So it's like maybe the things out there in LA, because people always say, oh, the industry's falling apart out there. It's like, yeah, maybe, but not here. Like in our little world, it's like you can now, you've given, you probably, it's got to be a good feeling, like even like being a part of like that Kill Tony crowd and all that, but like now Dr. Phil will start to like Jeremiah Watkins gets on so much of your stuff. It's like you elevate his career.
Totally.
Now. So that's the beauty part of when you get to comedy, you can like help your friends.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's awesome.
It's the best. And look, I'm not, who knows if I do the Dr. Phil thing for another year. Honestly. All I want is to have things that set me up for opportunities to do other shit,
Yeah.
And it started with the actor strike and everything. It was like, I can't keep waiting around for opportunities to like come to me. I just got to like start. And again, like I was saying, I was losing the joy, and I'd always kind of like wanted to do something else live on stage. Well, after I saw the Oh Hello with Mulaney and Nick Kroll, I was like, God, I want to fucking do a live show like that.
Oh yeah.
That seems so fun. And I was doing these Adam Ray and Friends shows, and then everybody started doing. Everyone was already kind of doing like an N Friends show, and I was like, I just feel like I'm doing what everyone's doing, and that is just such a crippling feeling when you're like, I'm not doing. You have to look in the mirror and go, don't I have other shit to bring to the table?
My social media guy gave me like a thing that was like started to like change my mindset. He was like, look, he read this book. I forgot what the book was, but he was like, it's like when there's three ways. There's always people always think there's only two ways to get into a club. The first way is most people. 99% of people just wait online.
Yeah.
Just wait online to get into this nightclub, whatever. Then there's another group of people that they can go in through that VIP door because, they have famous families, they come from a lot of money, whatever. He goes, but the people like, that are going to like really like break through in the business and do something, there's always like a third way. And the third way is, you go down the back alley, through the back kitchen window, pay off one of the cooks to let you back in, and then you go, through a basement store that comes up, through a sewer cap, like you're in the middle of the club that way. And that's like the very hard way, and it's the way that most people don't know about. But I feel like that's what you're kind of doing. You're doing it like the third way, because now, because of your success with Dr. Phil and all that stuff, you're going to start to see many people try to do this. And that's just what's going to happen.
Good.
But that's good. But
good for the business,
just know, you were there first. Yes.
I love you.
You were there. Do you ever have sex with your wife as Dr. Phil?
Great question.
Thank you.
No, but
is that an idea though that I just popped into your head? Have you thought about this already?
I don't think she would want that. I think if things start losing flavor from me, then probably she'll be like, what else do you have?
Right. So
Can you put on a
maybe?
mustache or something? Yeah.
Why
put
not?
on some braces. I did only sleep in it once when Chappelle. We were doing a Phil show with Bill Burr. Mm-hmm. And then Chappelle popped upstairs to the belly room to do a secret show, and my makeup gal was like, I got to go to bed, so if you want to stay out later, you just got to sleep in that. And I hadn't done it, and I was like, is it bad? She's like, no, it'll just be maybe uncomfortable. And so I went up and was watching the show, and Jeff Ross opened, and then he brought me up as Phil, and we kind of started bantering, and then he's like, you can bring Dave up if you want. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Dave's one of my favorite comics.
Sick.
Everybody's, and I go, this next comic, from all his Netflix specials, Comedy Central, and he's also the only guy other than me that knows what Oprah's pussy smells like. Give it up for David Chappelle. And he comes up, and I had met Dave a handful of times, but at Yellow Springs, maybe the second week he did his thing during COVID, I was out there for about a week and change. And so, but I meet so many people, so I quickly go, Dave. And when I was out there, I'd gotten this job to be Vince McMahon on The Rock show about his life. And he was out there when I got it, and he his tour manager, who was a buddy of mine, told him that. And so he came up and made a big deal about it to me. He was so fucking nice about it. And so I go, Dave, I remember when I was at Yellow Springs really quick. I'm saying this to him. I go, it's been a while since I've seen you. He goes, I remember, man, you look different, because I'm on fucking full makeup.
Yeah.
And then I sat up on the little belly room balcony there in the belly room. And halfway through this 2-hour set that Dave's just, crushing, he's chatting with Jeff Ross in between. Then Jeff's like, Dave, Dr. Phil's here. He's like, I know, man. Keep looking over. I'm going, shit, forget, And then he goes, how you doing, Phil? I go, well, I'm a little upset about an influx of Orthodox Jews that have moved into my neighborhood. And he goes, oh God. He goes, and he goes, what are your thoughts on Hamas? I go, let's get into it, player. And they just starts laughing.
Yeah.
And then we had a few back and forths.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I go home that night and had to sleep in it, and then woke up the next morning, and we threw him back pretty hard afterwards. And my wife wakes up hungover and looks over, and she just totally forgotten that. Whatever, and she just sees the back of the bald head, and how she puts it, she just goes, ha! Yeah. And then she was like, I don't look forward to that day,
Right.
Yeah.
I know, it'd be weird. Like, it is one of those things where it's like, you're going down on her with the fucking bald head. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. And then until she gets to a point to where she, like, wants that, But I want to let it happen naturally. But
maybe you should, for Halloween, you should dress up. She should dress up as Dr. Phil.
No, she's going as Michelle Obama. But I think that there's...
penis or no penis?
Hilarious.
Big Mike.
That's
what they say.
For
back
real?
home in the group chat.
What a funny dude.
They call her Big Mike. Like, I have a friend in my group chat, like, dead serious. Like, he's a normal guy. And he was just like, but he's like, I'm telling you, that's a man. And Barack Obama's gay. And what's happened, this is when you talk to him, he'll say to you, listen to me. He's like, the truth is this. And he's got a regular job. He's got a family. He'll say...
he's got teeth and a debit card.
Yeah, he's a regular guy. Like, you like him. Everybody get along with this guy. He'll say, listen to me. Here's what's happened. A lot of people say the world changed with Donald Trump. The world changed in 2008 when Barack Obama became president because he was a closeted gay man who was married to a man, and Michelle Obama, who does have a penis. It's confirmed. Okay. So, and then he says that the gay agenda has now come out over the last 16 years since 2008. That's why the world's gotten very gay, and everything's big times gay, because Barack Obama was gay and wanted to push that agenda.
Push that, yeah.
That's what it is. So he said, so
he legalized gay marriage so that he could eventually
be gay because Michelle Obama does have a penis.
Divorce his wife and maybe marry him. Yeah.
His words. That's what he says. He's also the same guy that when Donald Trump got shot, and had that picture of like when he's like this with the blood coming off his ear, immediately within 5 minutes of that picture getting circulated online, he sent it to our group chat, and under it he put, "Let's go Mets."
Yeah, this sounds like the same guy who thinks Ratatouille is based on a true story.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Or he's like, dude, that kitchen was saved by that rat.
It's a real thing.
Dude,
yeah.
it was in Brooklyn, dude. It was a Brooklyn pizzeria.
Mm-hmm.
Those friends are necessary.
They're necessary guys.
You need these guys. You need these threads to be a part of, just to balance out your own insanity, your own anxieties. You're like, dude, I thought I was having a bad week.
Yeah.
Like, at least I'm not concerned. Like, you ever watch Strange Addiction on A&E?
Yes.
You're like, dude, I might have missed a couple cable payments. Maybe I forgot my stepdad's birthday. But at least I'm not waking up like, my name's Daryl, and I can't start the day unless I eat a bar of soap and suck on some toes. And you're like, well, I'm an Eggs Benedict guy, Daryl, so we're gonna have a tough time connecting.
Yeah. Don't let your brain fool you, man. Like you're doing just fine.
But there's other things you could. There's so many fucking weird things to be into. It's like a real. Thank God, comedy, weed. Those are my vices. What are your vices?
I would say, comedy.
You stopped drinking, right?
Is the big. I know I drink.
Okay,
I had a couple of tequilas last night.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude.
That's right. You came out. You were like, I threw a couple back.
Sauced up a little bit. I'm back,
dude. I don't judge people that get sober at all. I just go, thank God, I feel like I have a decent grasp on it.
I never. I'll tell you this.
When it gets in the way of your work and what's going on, you miss something, or if I ever like rolled into a Phil show and I was like, "Oof, man, a 3-day whatever," but that hasn't happened. So it's like,
and Dr. Phil, has reached out to you. Has he been?
He's all about it.
You're right. Has he come on the show? That I haven't seen. Has Dr. Phil himself come on the show?
Man, there.
You don't know. We'll edit this part out.
No. I mean, yeah. I mean, well, I'll tell you something off air that's happening. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So off air.
Yeah.
And then what? Well, obviously, as you guys know, he'll tell me off air, but you can see that conversation uploaded at Patreon.com/Christy Comedy for just $5 a month. I will ruin a friendship.
I respect that.
Yeah. No. So. But yeah, dude,
You're having a couple cocktails.
I have a couple cocktails. Having fun. So my vice is, I would say, for me, honestly, alcohol. I do enjoy it, but I could, if you said, "Hey, Chris, here's the thing, man. You can never. You have two choices right now. You can either never have a drink again, like alcohol ever again, never.
Yeah.
Or you can never have a chocolate chip muffin. It wouldn't even be a question. I would get rid of the alcohol like that.
I love that.
I'm more addicted to sweets than anything in my life I've ever been addicted to.
Wow.
Like it's not even close. Like when I tried to do a thing where I was doing sweets on Saturdays or for the sweets. I had this whole Instagram campaign, Saturdays are for the sweets. And I did it. And I did it for about 6 months. Saturdays are for the sweets. And then I lost control of it. And now it's like, I don't know what it is, but like I need to eat something with chocolate or some type of muffin or cake every fucking day of my life. I
Great.
need it. But I know some people feel that way about alcohol because not that I ever judge people with alcohol, but I always would be like, when you don't know any better, you're like, why? Just stop drinking, dude. It's like so easy. But then it was put. I have a friend who's a cop. He's like, but the thing is, the part of your brain that loves cakes and muffins, that guy's brain loves alcohol. Yeah. So imagine if I told you can't ever have a cake and a muffin. He's like, what would you do? I was like, I'd probably fucking kill myself, start smoking cigarettes, beat my wife. He's like, that's what that guy's
in that
doing.
order.
Yeah.
That's always as a kid?
Always. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I had high cholesterol when I was 9. So
is that normal?
No, it's not great.
What was your sweet of choice as a kid?
Twinkies. Yeah. I would eat, but I never got
dipped
fat.
in ho-hos.
Dipped in ho-hos. Yeah, I would eat. For me though, one of the thing is like if you said to me, obviously last meal, whatever like that, it's not tortellini, it's not pizza, it's not. I love all those things. DiGiorno. It's a toasted double chocolate chip muffin with butter. Toasted chocolate chip double muffin with butter.
That's what's up.
Like that's what's up. I'll eat that all times. Like today, this morning, I went out for a run. I did a nice little workout.
You're looking good.
Thank you, baby. I went to. I got an egg sandwich. Great. And then as I was walking out, I said, you know what I'll take? Would you like another coffee, whatever? I said, I'll take a piece of chocolate cake. 8:30 in the morning.
Great.
Sat there with a piece of chocolate cake and a nice coffee.
Did you love it?
I did love it.
Did you love the morning?
I did, but
you earned it.
I did, but what I have to get out of the habit of, and this is my own mother interjecting, she's like, if you're going to do something that you don't feel, whatever, then stop punishing yourself for it, okay? She's like, if you're going to eat the chocolate, then just eat the chocolate. And she was like, what you do is you eat it and you live in the moment, and then you make yourself pay mentally for the rest of the day. Just forget about it. Give yourself, my mom's thing is give yourself 5 minutes to be in pain and then move on. Life's too short.
Brilliant. Brilliant advice.
Brilliant, yeah.
Is your mom always like that beacon of hope for you?
No, she comes from a place of anxiety a lot in her life, but she's very much, as she's gotten older, she's been very much like, kind of, I think when your parents start to get older, my dad too, and they start to realize like, mortality is a real thing. Like when you're in your mid-60s, my dad's in his mid-70s, they'll always start to, my mom talks to me a lot now about how, try to be mostly happy every single day, no matter what you're going through. Unless she was like a real event, a death, something like that. But if it's mundane stuff that's getting you upset, you're not living the life you think. She was like, so, and my dad's whole big thing is if it's not going to matter in 5 months, don't give it more than 5 seconds of your time. Like move on quickly, move on. Even if you're, like there's anything, he's like, Chris, you gotta fucking move on.
It really is easier said than done advice, but it is like the only way, to live. Like it is.
Right.
But the whole not sweat the small stuff, and like you could get hit by a bus tomorrow. I used to say that a lot to a girlfriend, and she was just like, "That's not gonna fucking happen. This matters." And I was like, because I just was,
And then you just came from her funeral. She got fucking smashed by a Greyhound.
Bro, that happened last night when I was talking to Fortune. She had an uncle with. I go. By
the way, she's hilarious. Fortune Feemster is
one of the best, dude. Deserves everything that comes her way.
When you were on stage and she was just in the green room talking shit, eating brisket, we were fucking howling.
Do you know her well?
I know her. Yeah, I know her.
Okay.
We don't talk.
Because that's another fucking very fun element of the show that I love is people coming on that have Whitney Cummings and Nikki Glaser did it. They're never on stage together ever.
No.
And I put them on stage at the same time, and it was a fun dynamic.
Yeah, of course.
We had Sal Volcano, Dax Shepard, and Rick Glassman on together. Sal and Dax had never met. Rick and Sal, obviously, and then Rick and Dax. And that was like a fun, challenging, because you got Rick there, energy to try to navigate through. But like you and Fortune, like that would have been fucking a banger to have it on the same time. But you guys are so strong individually. But but she said that her special needs uncle gave her the nickname Bud. And then I was like, I go, and what's he doing now? She's like, well, he's dead. And I was like, we'll be right back, whatever. But then she's like, no, he gave me all this great advice. But
I think that. What was that? I was talking about something.
I know. I brought that up because I wanted to piggyback on something you were saying.
You say piggyback a lot too, which I like.
Yeah.
You said comfy, uncomfy, chum, and piggyback are kind of 4 words.
Those are our words of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
What? No, you were saying
you're going to be a good dad. You have good dad energy. You give Jew energy, but you also give good dad energy. You give good Jew dad energy.
Jew dad. Great name for a tour or the special.
Actually, that is the name of the podcast. Vito,
it is?
Jew Dad.
Fuck. All right.
Chrissy Chaos with Jew Dad. I smell a new character.
Rabbi Judad.
Oh yeah.
All right. I want a new. Somebody pitched this character to me, and I'd already been thinking about coming out as Tony, but maybe getting like into a muscle suit and then getting real makeup done to look like Tony, but maybe Tony Rogan.
Yeah. Oh, sick.
A combination of both.
I love it, dude.
Because I've got some Tony mannerisms down. I'm starting to do kind of a little Tony when I
come out with that vest.
I tell a story about how because the Shane and I doing the Biden Trump thing on Kill Tony happened so quickly. And there's so many pieces to that are kind of wild to me looking back after the fact, as far as he and I only talking maybe 3 times prior.
Right.
Him not doing Trump very much, me not doing a Biden, how quickly it happened in like 3 days.
Right.
Just, some curtain peel reveal stuff about the story. But yeah, I do want to be a dad. I just probably a couple years from now. But I crushed the uncle game, man. I mean, my nieces and nephew, I went back home every 2 years to from LA to Seattle every 2 weeks, I'm sorry. I was
about to say what 2 years. What a piece of shit uncle was God.
Shit, dude. Stood right over that.
Yeah.
My sister was doing them by herself for the first 5 years. Right. So I went home every 2 weeks to be a male influence in their life and just, it's paid dividends. We're best buds.
Yeah.
And I love all of them so much. I'm, doing all this stuff, all the games, the videos and the imagination shit. And I love it. And I am a big kid. And I think I'm just terrified to be a dad and also want to get to a place to where I'm not as busy or as gone. I have a tough time. I just fucking, for the first time, leaving my 2 pups about a week ago. And I was gone for, about a couple months ago. I left for a month.
Right.
And first time I saw, usually they're both kind of aloof.
Right.
They know. The dogs, they know.
Yeah.
But they both were visibly sad. And,
Sure.
I know you and Bert famously have that clip about, being away from your kids, which resonates heavy. But
that was
dude,
that was acting. That was all set up.
I was going to say, dude, put that on your reel because it was brilliant, dude. And I could tell from the get-go. Those weren't real tears.
No, dude. Artificial tears.
The quiver lip, dude.
It's all bullshit.
Seen it before. You stole that from fucking,
Exactly.
Candace Cameron Bure.
Yeah.
Dude, 2 Candace Cameron references.
Dude, I love it. Bro, you've really been on fire with things that you would never expect. Chum, Candace Cameron, comfy, uncomfy.
Candace Cameron, you want to talk about people that hate
gorgeous.
gays.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was referring to.
Gorgeous gay hater. No, her and Kirk are really against. They go hard in the paint.
They go hard in the paint. My kids love Fuller House, too.
Sure.
They love it.
What's not to love?
They love it, yeah.
Coulier's still involved.
He is. Big Dave.
Big Dave Coulier fan.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, that was our first. You want to talk about your first taste of a comedian. I mean, sure, I saw Sinbad. Loved.
He's the best.
By the way, Sinbad is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. I was such a fan of him as a kid. My dad showed me some Sinbad tapes, and I was like, dude, this guy's unbelievable. Yeah. Eddie Murphy,
he was
Delirious.
Like, well, good, I have another family.
Yeah.
I'm showing this to you, Adam. I want you to laugh.
And then I turned around, he was gone.
Yeah, he's gone. I just want you to feel comfort in the fact that I have a full wife and family, so Sinbad will make you laugh.
That's the single dad pick and roll. It's the fucking, he puts on, it's called the Sinbad distraction.
Yes. Kazam. Yeah.
So I'm watching the Sinbad tape. Dad's with a new family in Spokane, Edmonds. Doesn't matter. And so years later, I see Sinbad's at the Ontario Improv. My dad was living in Laughlin, Nevada now. Moved down there to be a doctor at the VA clinic, sending money back to the family. He's 4 hours away from LA. I'm like, let's go back and forth and see each other when we can, right?
Why the hell not?
Get this relationship going. And so I see Sinbad's at the Ontario Improv. I hit him up. I go, you got to let me host this weekend so I can bring my dad out and be a part of the, what kind of we saw stand up together with.
Sure.
Sinbad not only did almost 2 hours every set, ripped, dude. I mean, ripped. He not only, did material for about 45, 55, and then did about, close to an hour of crowd work where he sat on the stool and he's got stuff, he's got kids, teenage kids, and I think a little older, so he's got material about that. Got married and then divorced, and then him and his wife got back together.
Right.
So he's got every base covered.
Right.
And he is just Dr. Phil, Jerry Springer, opening up the entire room. I just start crying, throw up.
Oh, I love
and
it.
he just goes, every moment was just like, he just died. I mean, he go, got any questions? And someone, I wish I could remember the moment, but he's like, ladies, what's your biggest gripe with a man? He don't do the trash, take out the trash. Well, you saw it first, didn't you? Like something sort. I mean, that wasn't the retort, but it was something. He had something for every moment,
Everything.
and then he'd go into a bit about and dissect it, and it was like fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
He was so goddamn likable.
Yeah.
Never cursed.
No. So the Sinbad one thing that I've told this before, but like it was just a moment in comedy. Like I can't believe I saw this. I was doing comedy club at Foxwoods in Connecticut, and they have the comedy club, which I was doing, and then across they have the theater. So my comedy club, my second show that night, I sold such little tickets that they just canceled the second show. So they were like, listen, this was maybe 2016.
Did that hurt, or did that feel like, oh, thank God we don't have to do it?
Well, it's interesting. At that point, I kind of felt like I didn't probably want to do it at all. But what's interesting is, this is what comedy is. My career was like going up, like selling tickets, like, you know, especially in the Northeast, doing like big shows. And then like I was supposed to have I'm also here. I'm going home tomorrow, but I was supposed to have shows at Oxnard Comedy Club this weekend. And I sold so few tickets that I just canceled it. Yeah. But then the next week is sold out. So like, so the thing is with comedy, that's why I think we're comedians. Because if we were actors like a Ryan Gosling, he just gets win after win after. He's gorgeous and he's beautiful. But for us, we're like, bang. That's why you're funny, though, to like get through it.
Wow.
But so
you're right, because he could do, you know, the Fall Guy, and if it doesn't hit, he's like, you think I give a fuck? I'm doing Romeo and Juliet 2. I'm doing Schindler's List 5 and Air Bud 12 back to back.
It's fine.
They work the scheduling out.
100%. But with Sinbad, what I saw was like, so show canceled. It was a massive snowstorm outside in Connecticut, whatever. So we go and watch Sinbad. They're like, we got the time. They, you know, same owner. So we go in there. So we watch Sinbad, and he's same as you described, very similar. I mean, absolutely killer, destroying. Yeah. And you know the rules. You know, fans at home don't know. Casino gigs, they're very tight with their time because they want you back out gambling. Yeah. So they'll tell, you know, even a headliner like Sinbad, he can, you know, he's got some leeway, but you can't be out if you're supposed to do an hour and you're out there for 2. You're going to have to pay a penalty. Yeah. Because like they are like, we're losing money. Yeah, totally. So Sinbad, crushing. I mean, like annihilating. Yeah. Very similar.
Fun to watch too, right?
Oh my God, just obliterating. Right. Sold out, big theater, whatever it was, 2,000 seats. So about 55 minutes in, maybe even an hour in, you see this man walking down the aisle with his wife, and the guy, and you notice later he was wearing like a white suit, and so he had this white suit on, like with he was like a cane. He was a black man. He had a white suit. I'm describing a black man and a black woman just out on a date night. The white suit, top hat, cane, and you know, just beautiful.
I can see it all.
Awesome, and you know his wife, and so he's got all this dirt all over his pants, right? So they're sitting, you know, they go to sit down, and then Sinbad says, "Oh, wait a second." He goes, "You're dirty ass coming in here an hour into the show?" He's like, "What the fuck?" And then the wife goes, "Oh, Sinbad, we're so sorry. She goes, "It's our anniversary, wedding anniversary." She was like, and we were so excited to see you. She was like, and then we got a flat tire with the snowstorm, and then he changed the tire and, you know, ruined his suit just to get here. And he said to me, you know, baby, I know like how bad, even if we can only see a minute of him, like it'll be worth it, whatever.
Oh my God.
So Sinbad goes, yo, he goes, hold on. So you mean to tell me you guys came up here, you know, could have went home, tire, blew out, whatever, blah, 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 but you still came. She goes, yeah. She goes, you're a favorite comic, and it's our, whatever, 10-year wedding anniversary. He goes, all right. He goes, I'm going to let you all know something right now. He goes, I'm going to do another hour. So the crowd's
God,
so
dude.
The crowd's like, what? He goes,
I'm going to do another hour.
He goes, if y'all want to stay, you could stay. He goes, but I only really care about these two. He goes, I want y'all to stay, but if you got shit to do, he goes, and another thing, I'm going to lose my entire paycheck right now because I'm going to have to pay a big penalty. He goes, because the rule, and he explains the rules. So the casino goes, but I'm going to do comedy for these two. He goes, I'm not going to,
Dude, I'm getting emotional listening to this.
Dude, it was insane. He goes, I'm not going to repeat shit. He goes, but all the good shit I had planned, I did it already. He goes, so.
That's on you for fucking
he goes, so I just
not checking the air pressure.
I want to let y'all know. This next hour might not be as good as the first hour.
Oh.
He was like, because I did my shit.
Yeah.
He's like, but I'm doing comedy. I
bet it was still fire, dude.
Bro, I shit you not. And maybe it was because of the moment or whatever. He killed that first hour. He killed maybe 10 times as hard. I mean, wall shaking laughs every 2 minutes, to the point where it was so, it wasn't even, it went past inspiration into desperation of you can't do comedy, you shouldn't do comedy, Chris. It went like this. I was like, this is my dream right now. I'm going to be the next Sinbad, this is like not actual possible. Yeah. And if this is what it is to be great, then I can't do that, and I'll never be able to do that.
I know.
And it was unbelievable. he, you know, of course, standing ovation. He walked off like, you know, it was funny. He walks off. He did 2.5 hours or whatever it was. He walks off, and like, you know, everyone's leaving, and he ran back on. He goes, "Yo, I'm gonna do an encore. You understand?" He goes, "No, I'm just fucking around."
Oh,
he goes, "Y'all just cost me $100,000." He was like,
Holy
"Yeah," and
shit.
it was so funny, bro, and so good. And that when I saw like that, I was like, "Oh, this is just like." Not only a great comic, but like a great person.
Yeah.
Like completely was like above. It was about the art of it. He was like, I have enough money.
Bro, I'm so thankful you shared that story. That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
He also, I don't want to say doesn't get his love, but I don't know, man. I feel like I am bringing him up more than I'm hearing him brought up.
Right.
Like, and maybe that's because I've had a personal experience and tie to it, but like, one more thing to add on there. Every night after our shows at the Ontario Improv, you know, my dad would, slip back to the hotel after kicking it for a bit. Sinbad and I would
got another family.
He's got
Yeah.
Too soon. Yeah, he does. The by the way, how many? At least I knew about the family.
Right.
Think about the guys out there
Right.
with hidden families.
Oh my God.
And the wives that find out, or the kids.
Yeah.
Years later.
Sure.
You want to talk about a show I have where it's like, so real quick, and I'll come back to this last piece of Sinbad. I have this show idea I want to do where it's like a guy does almost like a, you know, the way that Mrs. Doubtfire. So basically he gets, for a Halloween costume, he goes extra with the prosthetics like I've done with some of these characters, right?
Right.
To go to it's like a costume contest. So he wants to go whatever. And it's like the makeup is so good. Let's say the Jeremy makeup is even crazier.
Yeah.
That people believe he's a real person. I went to a Halloween party my sophomore year of college, and I had grown out a beard for quite a bit, and I shaved it to a mustache and wore these aviators and wore a Fila jumpsuit and a World's Greatest Dad tank top underneath that I ended up rocking. And as I'm walking around, people are like, "Who are you?" And I kind of like walked around with this voice like this. I was like, "I'm Darren. I know Josh from college." And nobody questioned anything. And I go, you know, here I am, fucking actor boy coming out of, you know, college. Everything's an acting exercise. So here I am, like trying to, you know, see if I can get people to fall for it. Maybe 2 people were like, "Dude, I know you're Josh's buddy or whatever. I met you before. I could tell, I could hear your voice, whatever." Everyone else, thought I was this guy that was at the party. So I'm going around saying fucked up shit. Dude, coming into parties being like, "You guys talking about black guys?" Whatever it is. I'm just like jumping in. And then, and my buddy at the end was like, "Dude, you know how many people would come up to me being like, 'Dude, who's this guy, Rodney or Darryl?'" Whoever the fuck I was. So then I was like, all right, what if that guy in a show does that with full prosthetics, goes to this costume party, fools people into this whatever, and somebody there really gets to know this guy that this character I've created,
right,
and says, "Dude, you know, I don't know," and my guy for real, like as me, you know, it has 3 kids, wife, like we're on the struggle bus, you know, like we're making ends meet. And this guy's like loves the moxie of this character I have, and he's like, "Dude, come out to Florida next week, and like I think we might have a spot for you." So now he's leading double life, Mrs. Doubtfire style, but he's flying back to Florida like every weekend to be this fake character to work at this business firm or something, and then he's going back. And then he's got then maybe in character, he meets, you know, obviously as he does towards the end of season 1, he meets a fucking woman and maybe starts another family there, and then he's going back and forth. I don't know.
Because then is he actually cheating? If he's like, it's not me that has the other family, it's the character. It's not actual me.
Bro, totally. If Mrs. Doubtfire had started, you know, fucking some other woman and Sally Field found out,
right,
you know, what could she say?
Seriously, that's
the whole time. Oh yeah, that's a great. The whole time. Yeah,
that's a great. Yeah.
So, but anyway, so that's a show. You were talking about like characters and like using that. I think that could be fun. Sinbad, every night we'd stay up in the Ontario Improv green room and talk. You know, he knows everybody, has met everybody. He'd tell me stories. He's like, "You ever been to E3?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." He's like, "Me and Dwayne Wade and LeBron went there one year." And I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." That's just one. He's got these stories in his pinky. And then we started riffing about some movie idea one night. It was either Jingle All the Way 2 or fucking House Guest 4 and whatever it was. And we would stay up and we started outlining this movie together. And then I remember one night, the last night I saw him.
That's sick.
I'm standing outside of his car and we started riffing a few more ideas. Probably ended up being 45 minutes. I'm just leaning over his car as he's talking. We're just whatever. And he's like, "All right, we're going to write this shit. And that was the last time I've seen him.
Wow.
So I've seen him at the Improv a few times before, but you know, it's not like I brought the movie idea back up. But literally he was just like, "Let's get on that shit, whatever." And I fucking spent the next, you know, couple weeks outlining whatever we had done and putting it all together and sending it off. And then just, you know, he's like,
I know he's sick now, Sinbad, right?
That's why it's even more
tough,
imperative to celebrate the goods he's brought.
Yeah, I saw a video of him. It was funny. He was like collecting.
It was hilarious.
Right, the wheelchair, and he was like, it was like his wife. And he's like something like she wants to leave me at the top of the stairs. Top of the stairs wheelchair joke.
Come on,
it was great.
Yeah,
I was like,
perfect.
Oh, yeah.
You hope if you get any sort of debilitating, crippling something that you can stay funny. I think we would, right?
I mean, for me, it's like it's the only thing that I have. It is my defense mechanism. It is actually what calms me down. I feel like I have the only times in my day where I think if you could measure anxiety, like with actual data, my anxiety is at 0 or as close to 0 when I'm on stage.
That's awesome.
The highest probably right before, but then 0 throughout.
That's wild.
It's 0.
So it really is
fully 0. Like even if I'm bombing, it's 0. Like nothing.
Wow.
Any problem I have is gone.
Did you take anything for it?
No.
No. Yeah.
No.
What do you kind of do? Is it just like what are all the things they say? Meditation, workout.
Meditation. What my kids do? My kids are just calming anxiety. If they're happy and healthy, I'm like, well, what else really fucking matters?
Wow, dude.
So that the kids are big for whatever people want to do, but kids are for me. They're big for my career. Yeah. It just gets me out of the microcosms of I don't care as much about I had to cancel Oxnard. It's like, okay, that hurts for a minute.
More time with them.
Yeah, but then my kids are like, now I get to go.
Pumped, dude.
Now I get to go to a birthday party with them. So I'm like, that's actually better.
Give me the top 3 best things about being a dad.
Top thing
for you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, okay, because overall, I would say top 2 things about being a dad. One is for me personally, walking my kids to school every morning and getting to drop them off and give them big hugs and kisses walking into school. It literally, no matter what, if you're feeling sick, if you're feeling hungover, those 10 minutes for me, I don't know what it is. I just feel completely at peace with them. So that's big. Walking them to school is huge.
That's awesome.
2, having actual the ability to you become actually selfless because I'm in 4th place in my own life. So I'm like, I now have just become accustomed to not everything is about me. I've learned it's actually not at all. It's about I have to be happy and present and all that so I could be a good father for them. But things are not really about me. So I think that becoming selfless, because that's just then that being a father, then it bleeds into every other aspect of your life. Where you're like, hold on, wait a second, let the guys, why? Just because I'm the lead of the show, whatever, I don't have to eat first. Let everybody else eat. Not everything's me. I'm not so self-consumed.
Super healthy
with me. It's like there's other ask someone else. Ask when the fan comes up to you and is ask them what their name is.
Totally. Got to do that.
Connect.
By the way, that is just real quick. That is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I do that when I'm talking to airport people.
Right.
You get somebody's name, dude. They will go to the ends of the world for you.
100%.
It is a immediate. You're acknowledging their existence. Dude.
Yeah. Artie Lang told me once when he was getting I used to open for him all over, and it was Howard Stern time. He was he got mobbed at the mall we were at, whatever, and he took pictures and talked to everyone. And when we were leaving, when we got in his car, I was like, how do you do that? I was I opened for him, an open micer. I was like, how do you do that? He goes, listen to me, if you ever get the opportunity, if you ever get to a point in your career where people even know who you are, he was like, think about it like this: 5 seconds of your time with them, just 5 seconds, makes you a fan for life. Where 5 seconds the other way, where you don't give them your time, then you lose a fan for life. He was like, this job is already so hard on stage. Don't make it harder for yourself off stage. You want as many fans and people who like you as possible. He said, because what's going to happen is I give them 5 seconds of my time. They're going to go home, say, oh, I met Artie Lang. He was really sweet to me. And then when I come through their town again, or when they see me, or if I'm down on my luck, they're more likely to say, yeah, but he was nice. He's actually a good guy.
Wow.
So he was like, so just give them time. And he was like, so that was big. And then, but so that's big about being a dad is becoming selfless. And then I think the third thing is what it helps me is I'm never alone. They help me so much more than I help them. I think it's I'm always have people around me, because I think when you can get bit by that lonely bug, that's tough. I don't have that being a father. Even at times when they won't, I'm sure as they get older, won't always want to hang around with me. But right now they're little.
They're all about you.
And what's one thing that I have with them that's fucking wild that I don't have with any other person? I'm just being completely honest with you. And I think a lot of parents feel this way, is I have unrequited love with them. It doesn't matter to me. I want them to love me, of course, but it doesn't matter to me at all. It's irrelevant if they love me or not. I'm loving them unconditionally, no matter what they do or don't do. It is my job. And my purpose is I love them unconditionally now. So they don't have to love me back for me to love them. Where a lot of times it's, your wife tells you I don't love you anymore, then you'll kind of be like, well, then I don't love you either.
Yeah.
Where my kids are like, you could tell me that to my face all day. I'd be like, well, I'm still here.
Whoa.
And I'm never leaving. So,
powerful.
I'm still going to help you in whatever you need. Because I feel like I want to be the type of parent to them. And I had some issues with my parents where I felt like they were taking from me a lot. And I kind of always, with my daughters, I want to be like, I want to represent the person for you, hopefully one of a couple, but at least with me, I'm never going to take from you. I'm only ever going to give. So I'm giving to you.
Meaning what? Take what?
Take your, if you ever came to money, take your money, take your time, take your energy.
Your piggy bank, your parents?
Yeah, at times. I was like, I'm only going to give. I'm here to help you always. I don't want to be a burden on you.
Right.
I'm here for positive. I got your back.
I just want to add to your existence.
I want to add to your existence. I never, ever, ever want to take. I never want to,
That's a good approach.
So that's and of course, banging their teachers. That's, of course, they got
hot teachers.
Young hot teachers. That's the great part of being a dad. MILFs, divorced moms, obviously all that goes without being said.
Bro, that is, I have a buddy who is in that divorced mom, like he is. Mm-hmm. I mean, there is I don't know if there's an NBC sitcom around this guy, but the guy that's just running a train on teachers and single divorced moms.
Sure. That's what
that guy's out there. It's Rob Lowe probably plays that guy.
100%.
Because he's on everything and he's solid or Gosling, but like.
Yeah. That's the lane, dude.
Dude.
Hot teachers, divorced moms.
Did you have a crush on a teacher growing up?
Growing up, I had a crush. I had a crush on my fourth grade teacher.
Me too.
Yep, I used to kind of rub. We had those old school desks. Now kids don't put their books under the desk. They have laptops now. But we had these long, the desk would come down low because that's where we put our books in our desk. So it would come
in
down
that little slot, right?
Yeah, and I would move up to it, and I would kind of just shooting blanks. Yeah, I would kind of just rub my dick and balls until I felt like a sensation, and I would get sleepy. Looking at my fourth grade teacher, kind of teaching me about social studies.
One more time. I'm just going to tweet this out real quick.
Yes.
Say it one more time.
So what I would do is I would rub my dick and balls and kind of till I got a sensation because I was shooting blanks. I was only in fourth grade when I was looking at my teacher.
I'm going to send this to Sinbad.
That's it. Yes.
Wait, was that your first taste of like some kids like dry hump the couch?
Right. Remote?
Oh, we're done.
What do you got? I'm really late for a call.
You are.
No, I'm kidding.
Let's go.
I'm kidding. We have to go at 2.
Yeah, great. You go ahead and promote, yeah?
ChristyComedy.com. Come to the shows or don't. It's really your call. It's your calling. It's whatever you're feeling in life.
I love that.
So I want you to be there, but you don't have to be there.
But let me say this: go to the shows because there's a handful of people out there that not only bring the jokes, but bring the charisma and the funny and the energy. Comedy's subjective. You like what you like. Some people like people that just stand up there and tell one-word jokes, have a low energy. It's more about the jokes than it is the presentation. Do you want the total package? Then go see Chrissy D. Do you go to the Cheesecake Factory and go, oh, give me the salad? Or do you go, no, give me that weird meatloaf thing you have inside of a salad? That's different. It's funny. You can't get it anywhere else. Chrissy D. Go see him live.
Thank you.
If you want to see a Dr. Phil live show, they're at the Comedy Store once a month. They're sold out through February. Oops-a-daisy. But you can get some tickets because I'll release some here and there. The next one will drop, I think, October 18th. They're all on my YouTube channel. Adam Ray Comedy, youtube.com/Adam Ray Comedy. The Dr. Phil Live Theater Tour is on right now. We're sold out for Philly, D.C., Arizona, San Diego. Coming
New York.
Up. New York Beacon, I think there's still about maybe 200 tickets left for the Beacon.
That's pretty much sold out.
That's November 15th, and then that's going to be a wild one. And then we've got a whole bunch: Dallas, Austin, Chicago, Boston, Nashville, Atlanta, San Francisco, Vegas, all in 2025. AdamRayComedy.com for all those tour dates. AdamRayComedy.com. It's Kansas City, Phoenix, all the cities, all the clubs.
And I will spoiler alert because Adam told me. I know you told me not to say it, but that Beacon Theater show November 15th, he's bringing out P. Diddy.
We'll be right back.